Hello and welcome in the lesson 3. In the previous lesson we learned data types, and in this lesson we're gonna learn conditions. So Python, as any other language, has conditions, and that means when you want to execute a code, just only when a condition is met. Let's just try an example here. So let's start with the strings. Let's say we have a variable called name and it has a value of David. Now we want to execute a code. Let's say we want to just print the name, but only if the name is David. If it's not, just don't print that name. To do it, we need a condition. So to make a condition in Python, you write if name equals David and then semicolon, and you execute here, you put here the code that you want to execute. Let's say we want to print the name. Okay, so the first word is if, and it's an English word. I don't have to explain it. If the name equals David, and as you see here, we have two equal signs. It's not gonna work with one equal signs. One equal signs is just for signing a variable, but two is for a condition. And we're saying if the name is David, then execute this, which is printing the name. And we have to put semicolon here, and we need to put a tab here. As you see, if I just press enter here, it's gonna just take me to the it's gonna just make this space for me. It's gonna take me here in the next level, and it's gonna just let this space here, and this space means that I am inside the if condition. That means if I just print here anything, it's gonna print it only if the condition is met. But if I just remove this tab, it's gonna print it, and it's not going to take care of the if condition. So that means the if condition is just has been ended here. And here we're just executing a normal code. So everything inside here is going to be inside the if condition. So let's test it. Let's go to the folder, type cmd, and then Python or just py, followed by the file name. David, it's just printing David. And that's correct because the name is David. Let's try now with Ellie. Let's execute it. We didn't get anything because the name is not David. It's gonna just print the name only if the name is David. Now we learned conditions. What are we gonna learn next is else. That means if the condition is not correct. Let's try it now. Else print ouch. The name isn't David. And we got a problem here, as you see. This is a quote, but it's a single quote, and we are just printing with a single quote. If you are going to use a single quote in your sentence, you gotta use double quotes for the print statement. So if the name is David, print the name, which is David. Else, if it's not, print ouch, the name isn't David. In our case, the name is Ellie. Let's execute it again. Ouch, the name isn't David. Cool. Now we just learned it, the if condition, with strings. Let's try it now with a boolean. In the second lesson, we learned data types, and we said that we have strings, booleans, numbers. We have a lot of types, right? And booleans work perfectly with conditions. Let's say that we have a status equals true. Now we want to do if status equals true, print for us anything. If status is true. Now that means if the status is true, it's gonna just print the status is true. It's that simple. The status is true. What we can do else in Python is just doing it like that. If status, and status is true. So when working with booleans, we can do it this way. So if true is going to work as well. If true is going to work, if status is going to work because status is true. And let's test it. The status is true. If the status is false, it's not going to work. It's going to go to the else if there is an else. And that's it for our lesson. See you in the next lesson.